Harvey, welcome along to the Blood Red podcast with the Liverpool Echo. We're here in association with New Balance, and we can see your brand spanking Liverpool red boots that are shining just behind us here. Just tell us a little bit more about the boots and why we're here today and your relationship with New Balance.
New Balance and I have came up with, I would say, a masterpiece in creating my own personal football boot. It's a boot that's very personal to me. Got a lot of details that mean a lot, in my life and along the way in my football career, and I had to top it off with the red colour as well to match the football kit.
Yeah, and named in honour of your dog, who's named after Sir Bob himself, Paisley.
Exactly.
He's got his little French bulldog face on the back of the heel, so very much feels like it's your boot and your design. Yeah,
definitely. I feel like it's unique as well. I just wanted something that was a bit different from the rest, and I mean what a great design, and seen as very personal to me as well. It just adds that extra touch.
Yeah, I mean some of your teammates are obviously big for their brands, and it feels like now with you getting more responsibility in the team, becoming a bigger player in a new look squad, it feels like it's the perfect time for you to grow your own brand, as it were, and obviously New Balance, teaming up with them, we've had a great relationship with the club over the years. It feels like it's a natural fit almost.
Yeah, definitely. Ever since I first signed with them, they've shown me enormous amounts of love and always been there for me whenever I've needed them, and helped me out along the way in my career so far, and I want to give everything back to them, and I feel like this design here is another part of what the brand's able to do, and just why it's different from the rest.
Yeah, well, you mentioned then about your career so far. You are only 20, but feels like you've been on the scene for quite a while. You signed for Liverpool as a 16-year-old for Fulham, a lifelong Red. What were your obviously thoughts and feelings when you joined in 2019, joining the Champions of Europe at the time?
Didn't really sink in until the first day I walked in, for training. I was like, right, I'm actually here, seeing all the big players and putting on the kit, going out to train, seeing the boss as well, and it kind of, it was a touching moment for me and my family. My dad especially, being a Liverpool fan as well. For him, he was the happiest dad in the world, and I was actually crying with I would say enjoyment as well. When the contracts were signed and stuff, and it's been a great journey so far, and hopefully many more years to come.
Yeah, I was at your debut actually at MK Dons in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
What were your memories of that day? Because it was a very young team. You had the likes of Ryan Brewster in there, and Pedro Chilavella coming off the bench, but you were kind of the one that people were there to watch on the night. You'd heard about this young lad that Liverpool had signed, and they wanted to get a real glimpse of him.
Yeah, I was just so annoyed I didn't sore. I hit the bar twice. Hit it twice. Right, I think at the start of the game and then right at the end of the game. But I mean, putting on a shirt, walking out to, the fans singing, and I just remember I looked over to the away end, and because we had more seats and that, just see, the whole stand was just full of red shirts, and it just made me so excited, to go out and play and kind of showcase my talent at such a, young age. And I just wanted to leave everything on the pitch and, wrung my heart out, and, ever since that game, it's exactly what I've been trying to do, each and every game. I just want to go out and run my socks off and, try and give them back.
Yeah, so you made 2 Premier League appearances that season as Liverpool swept ball before them, then you got 99 Premier League points and won the first title for 30 years. Could you quite believe that was happening in your first year? You weren't as established as you are now, but you were still around the fringes and getting a taste of it all, and that was just an unbelievable season.
Yeah, it was. The season on the whole was great. With what we won and to be around it, and just that feeling, it from such a young age, it gave me that taste to want more of it. It was unfortunate that we couldn't celebrate with the fans and stuff, and but we had the opportunities with the Carabao Cup and FA Cup as well. And for me, it was just, as I said, it's something that I just wanted to keep getting tasters of. I just wanted to, keep going back to these moments and keep creating history with Liverpool. And for me personally, it's a goal of mine to win as much as we can. And this time hopefully we can celebrate with the fans.
I think at the time he needed 5 Premier League appearances, was it, for a winner's medal? But
5.
The boss gave you his medal, was it? Is that right?
I'm not sure whether it was his. It could have been his, but I got one at the end of the day. Yeah, I think it was. I walked into the changing rooms after, the parade and presentations, and they gave it to me there, and then it wasn't like I can't really describe how I felt. I was just over the moon and sending pictures to my mum and dad, like, oh, I've got a medal, and they were in the stand as well. So I was able to go up and show them and have a bit of a celebration with them, and it was just a great feeling.
Yeah. So from there, at the end of your first season, you then joined Blackburn on loan. Different challenge. You then becoming a bit of a key part of that team at the time. That must have been obviously a different experience to being on the fringes of the Liverpool first team. You now in the Championship, it's a little bit more rough and tumble, and how did you handle that? Yeah,
I felt like it kind of set me up, in my football career. It got me adapted quick to the men's game, and especially with the Championship, teams are out there to hurt the players just because of the nature of the league. Like, everyone wants to get promoted, everyone don't want to get relegated as well. So for me, it was a great place to learn. And Blackburn, ever since I walked straight through the door, they put their arms around me. They gave me the confidence. The fans were there to help me out, and I'm just very grateful for Tony Mowbray and his coaching staff for believing in me, because it was a big risk. A 17-year-old player, they wasn't really sure how it would turn out, and hopefully for them, it was a good loan for me. But on a personal note, to play the amount of games that I did and kind of establish myself to men's football was great.
So you come back to the Liverpool team for the following season, and then you find yourself in a little bit of a different role, don't you, as part of the three-man midfield on the right. How did you adapt to that? And that seems to be the position that you've kind of made your own since then. Yeah,
it was hard. It was a new position, but for me it was just about kind of learning the ways defensively, and learning where I needed to position myself, and it was just kind of I need to take more responsibility, as it's obviously a new position, but in possession it was just making sure I'd done my own thing, and showing my quality and what I could do with the ball. I feel like each and every game when I play the position, I learn more and I take it into the next game, and it gets easier and easier.
And you obviously had the bad injury at Leeds. I remember speaking to your manager a couple of months after that and kind of asked him how you were getting on, and how you were as a young player suffering such a bad injury, and he called you an old soul. And what he meant by that was you were mature enough to have the mentality to know that, okay, you're going to be absent for 4 or 5 months, but you've still got the rest of your career ahead of you, and start to look forward to. And how much of a help was he on that recovery process? Because a lot of times, if you're injured for a manager, you're used to them, and you're kind of out the picture for months, but don't really get the feeling that was the same with him.
No, it just shows what a great person he is, and a great manager as well. He was always there for me if I ever needed anything, and whenever he would see me around the building, would put his arm around me, tell me everything was okay, and asking me how I was doing. And when I was on the pitch, he was coming over to watch me train and stuff, and to have that support and that the manager there to show you that he cares, kind of gave me the extra boost. It made me work a bit more to kind of repay him in a way, just to get back as quick as I can. And but as I said, it sums him up really. He's just he's a great manager, and he's got a great heart as well. And he wasn't only like it for me. He's been with every injured player along their journey as well. And that's why, in my opinion, he's the best.
Yeah. And then you come back into the team that's going hell for leather for the quadruple. Go so close to a quadruple, I don't think anyone's ever come that close. What was it like for yourself at the time? Were you kind of just thinking, I'll just play wherever I can, whenever I'm asked, and maybe next season is when you'll see yourself back at your best? Yeah,
I was trying to get back in the team as well, because I was on the bench, I weren't really in the squad, and it wasn't, I would say, affecting me mentally, but at the same time, you're not doing what you love, you're not playing football, and it was kind of, I felt like it kind of got the better of me, and not that my focus wasn't there, but I was getting worked up too quick. I wasn't really staying calm and patient. I was getting frustrated with myself, thinking would I be the same? Have I lost kind of that yard of pace or how I was before my injury. But yeah, I kind of just, saw the season out. I played a few games towards the end of the season and tried to get myself back in a rhythm. And then, when it was the off season, I just made sure I was like, right, next season I'm going to be, I'm going to be different. I'm going to make sure I go in a better shape, and I'm going to go in stronger and hit the ground running as soon as I go through them doors.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say you did that, because I think it was the Chelsea game in April, which was the first game that you weren't involved in at all. So you made over 40 odd appearances last season. Difficult season for the club as a whole, coming after so close to the quadruple. But for yourself, it felt like the one where you really sort of established yourself as a serious, important member of the Liverpool first team going forward.
Yeah, it was a great season for myself, but for the team, I'd say obviously it wasn't the best. We wanted to aim towards bigger and better things than what we did, and it just wasn't our season, which is one of them things that can happen in football. And this season we just need to make sure we come back and all the doubts and all the anger and all the chances that we missed last season, we need to put it into this season and hit the ground running, which we have done so far, and keep winning games and try and make up for what we missed out on last season. And I feel like the way the boys have been so far, and just the positiveness and the buzz around the club, I feel like this season's going to be a good one. Yeah,
it does feel that way. 9 games in, it feels like there's a freshness to it. The manager's got a little bit of a spring in his step once again, and some big experienced players have moved on, some younger players have come in, and looking at it now, the likes of Dom Szoboszlai and Gravenberch and McAllister, they're all older than you, but given that you've been here for this your 5th season now, do you feel like it's an opportunity for you to take on a bit more responsibility and maybe take 1 or 2 of them under your wing and kind of explain how little things work and whatever else?
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever a new player comes in, whether it's a young player or a very experienced player, not just myself, but the team are around them as quick as possible and trying to bed them into the group and the club and show them the Liverpool ways. And I mean, these lads have come in, and in all fairness, we haven't really needed to do it with them. They knew from the start, and this season they hit the ground running and have been flying. And especially Dom Szoboszlai, he's come in and been unbelievable, as well as McAllister and Ryan as well. So the group is just going to get stronger and stronger, and definitely this season has a different feel about it, and as a team we feel like we can push for everything.
I mean, I think the excitement for the supporters is they're not really sure what the potential is for this new look squad. Obviously previous years they knew they were capable of winning Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, but now it's sort of like, it's exciting, the goals are flying in, loads of attacking players. It feels like the fans are thinking, this team could be, Liverpool 2.0 as the manager calls it. It feels like they are really, capable of going on and maybe even emulating what's gone before in the previous years. Yeah,
absolutely. I feel like our squad depth now, it's in a position where we're able to go for everything. Obviously there's still a couple players out injured, but if you look at our bench, each and every game they've got massive players on the bench that come on and affect the game and change the game very quickly. And as you said, it's kind of like the Liverpool 2.0, and we just need to use that to our advantage and make sure that each and every game we're making the most out of it. And if you're not starting, making sure you come on, make the difference. And I feel like if we keep having that positiveness throughout this season, we can. Why not? We can go for everything.
What's the next set of goals for yourself going forward?
I think now to kind of establish myself in the team. Be a starter week in, week out, and then obviously on top of that, hopefully one day, it comes and I can be the club captain. I feel like that's probably one of the end goals of mine, maybe towards the end of my Liverpool career. But yeah, I mean, player-wise, everyone wants to come in, win trophies, and win absolutely everything. And I feel like that's everyone's dream in the team, and we kind of all put them together and give it 100%. And I feel like if we stick together and keep marching on as a team, we can do that.
Harvey Elliott's future Liverpool captain then, yeah?
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. Harvey, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.